Hey adventurers, today we are doing a video on why we love reading. This is again a get to know us type video, but it's something that I think everybody who is a reader should think about. What is it that about reading that makes you want to keep doing it? So we have just a list of reasons, and we'll probably expand on them a little bit, but we each have a list of 7 reasons. Some of them are very similar. But we're just gonna go through them and see what we think.
So my first reason why I love reading is because you get to experience worlds that don't exist. Whether it's a variation of our world, an aspect of our world that we personally don't get to experience, or a whole new world like in a fantasy or sci-fi even. I really love reading those type of things, getting to live somewhere that I could never imagine living otherwise without the aid of a book.
Very similar to Kate, my first one is also you get to experience new worlds. This can be just your own world in a different way than you've ever expected, or it can be something completely new and different. And oftentimes you get to experience things that you in your life would never get to experience without these stories.
So my next point is that you get to learn lessons and you don't have to learn them the hard way. And of course, because we're not learning them the hard way, because it's usually a fictional book that Tony and I are reading, sometimes it can be hard to apply those lessons directly to our lives, the lessons that the characters are learning. But if we can apply them to our lives or take something away from them, then we've learned a whole lesson without having to go through the struggles that our character went through.
Very similar to Kate once again. You have the ability and option to learn things that you may have never even remotely ever thought about or considered before. And you get to learn lessons, you get to take away themes and stuff from the many different stories that you read.
I think themes are a really powerful one. It's definitely difficult to take away a lesson that a character learned, but a theme that's brought to light is very easy to take away.
Yeah.
So another reason why I love to read is that it helps me with my writing. Planning my own story, plotting my own world, or planning my own world and plotting my own story. I can look at a book and say, I really like this aspect of it, and think about how I can incorporate something similar into my book. Or I can pick out a book and say, I didn't like that they used this in this book, and I can make sure I don't do it in mine. That's actually something I've been thinking about a lot lately. I read The Hunger Games and I noticed an aspect of it that I really didn't like, and I realized I was about to do the same thing in my own story. So because I read that book and because I realized I didn't like it, I can be sure not to put it in my own story.
So, and for the third time, I also find that reading helps with imagination and creativity. There's all sorts of times where you're reading and you are envisioning the world, at least for me. Kate thinks different than I do, so it may not be for her or for everyone else, but for me, I can read through the story, and as I'm reading it, I'm imagining the picture in my mind, imagining the setting, seeing all the characters' faces and the world and the background and everything about the story that makes it what it is, and that's good for your creativity and for your imagination. There's plenty of people, far more than there should be, in this world who have lost their creativity and imagination. Part of that is because they haven't kept up with reading, or they haven't read for years, and it's very sad, but it's a very easy way, very simple way just to keep your imagination going.
And my fourth point is you can create friends. And this may sound a little bit weird, but there's been times in my life where I've had better friends in books than I've had in real life, or that I thought I'd had in real life. These characters become so dear to us, you love them to death, and I think it's really cool. You get to experience different kinds of friendships with different personalities than I have in real life, than friends I have in real life. And you get more friends. I know I have few friends, very dear friends, but few friends, and these characters are a whole nother friend group.
So my next point is that you can be inspired through reading to do new things. I know after reading Tolkien and his many works and learning more about him and his languages specifically, I was inspired to, first off, I realized that I had a love for languages, but I also was inspired to actually learn and create languages. So we haven't talked a whole lot about our writing projects, but I am building my own fantasy world, and within it I'm building 4, maybe 5 languages. I think only 4. But I'm so it's inspired me to build my own language. It's inspired me to learn as many languages as I possibly can, with Spanish being the first one. And then it's also, I've been inspired through reading to do things like pick up swordplay, or with my reading through of the Stormlight Archives, I'm really wanting to learn how to wield a spear. I mean, it's just simple things like that, or blacksmithing. That's something that I've wanted to do for a long time. But there's just so many different things that you can learn and be inspired to do. I mean, writing songs, writing music, playing music, there's pretty much anything you can be inspired to do through reading. And it's just one of the biggest inspirations in my life, I'd say.
So my next point is that reading can help me be more compassionate. And I want to explain that because that seems a little far-fetched in some ways. But compassion is something I struggle with in a lot of ways in my personal life. And when you read a book and it shows you just what a character goes through, the struggles that they have, and what it takes to overcome them, or to get to a point where they're closer to overcoming them, how serious it is, how difficult these struggles are. A lot of people, most authors do serious research into these situations they put their characters in, and I think that's really cool. It helps me to sympathize with other people in real life by seeing what these people in the stories went through in their own life.
So because reading books are written by authors of various backgrounds and various time periods, you get to see things from their own culture, from their own area of the world, from their own time period of the world even, that they bring in and put into their books, whether consciously or not. But you get to see them and you get to experience them. And so for me, who loves learning history, loves learning about cultures, loves learning about languages, all these different things, reading can be a great way to learn many of these different things, because you can. You get to experience them even if you don't have the money or the time or the abilities to go travel. And so that's I don't know, I feel like that's a very unique thing that you can take from languages, or that you can take from books.
So reading is also very relaxing to me. It's one of those pastimes or hobbies that you can do and not feel unproductive. When I read and write, I don't feel like I'm wasting my time. It's a pastime that doesn't need a screen. It's very relaxing, and like Tony just said, you get to learn things. They're educational. Books are educational.
Again, my next point is very similar to Kate's in that it is very relaxing. It's a great way for me to, sometimes after a long hard day at work, I'll come home and just be like, all right, I'm just gonna go read, and it helps, and you relax, but it also is a good way to de-stress, and that's something that I think a lot of booktubers are, at least that I watch, have realized.
Another reason why I love reading is it makes me feel emotions, whether it's the wonder of the world, the fear that these characters are feeling, the anxiety that they're going through, the pain and the excitement. It all adds to that feeling. You know when you end a book that you really love and you're just blown away, you don't want to let it go. You either, or maybe you do, maybe you're mad at how it ended and you throw the book or you hug the book. It's that feeling that makes you love reading when you get done. What?
No, keep going.
I like reading because it's fun.
And she literally just stole my last point. She said, and it's fun. And that was my last point.
It's just straight up
fun. And it's so much fun to read and to read these stories and to learn these stories. And I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just fun. It's a great pastime. One that is worthwhile no matter where you're at in life. Well, we hope you enjoyed this video. It's probably pretty short, I'm guessing, just from how we think and the speed we were going. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it and comment down below what is it about reading that makes you love it so much. Follow us on Instagram if you haven't already, and thanks for watching, guys. Stay warm.